Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca, if you are not familiar with my face, and this is my garden series. We are on week 10, I think, and I just am loving this series. I love seeing the same people in the comments all the time, tracking the progress and everything, so thank you for clicking on this video. As you can see, I'm sitting in my new egg chair, and it has been a little bit of a chore to put together and everything else, but I really wanted outdoor furniture, and it has been an adventure trying to figure this out because outdoor furniture is very expensive, as I've spoken about in previous videos, and it's even still expensive used, so it holds its value for anybody out there in the market for some outdoor furniture. So as you can see, I finally found something. I assembled it earlier today, and when it came time to bring it outside, it was too big for the door. So I had to disassemble one of these sides because basically you can see it's the sides and the back, and then the top and the bottom, of course, and the pillows and everything, which I've left the plastic on the pillows, which looks a little tacky, but we're still in the middle of that rain. So it's been raining every single day for the last, I want to say 5 days or so. It's been raining, and it's probably going to rain for the next 5 days, but we really needed it. It was getting to the point where things were starting to go dormant, like my grass. The parts that are actually grass were starting to go dormant. All of the clovers stayed alive. It was really good for my garden plants, like my lettuce and my broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. What category of vegetable is like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts? I think that they're related. Maybe. I don't know what category that would be, but all of those types of vegetables in my garden bed are doing so good. They're just absolutely loving it, which I'm so happy about because those were the ones that I just wasn't sure if anything was going to happen. And my zucchini's doing really well. I think in this video I'm going to have to spread them out a little bit better because I planted them pretty close to each other, not really thinking that they, I mean, I can't even say that. I knew that they would get big, but for some reason the whole spacing thing just is confusing to me, and I think that I needed to see them as plants before I spaced them, which doesn't make any sense because now I'm going to be uprooting them and moving them. Hopefully it'll be fine. But I also planted those pumpkin seeds and the sunflower seeds. Someone told me that I was too late on the sunflower seeds, so if they come up, they come up. If not, I'll try again next year. And the pumpkins should be fine. I mean, those were like June through July, I think, so we should be, no, it was actually May through June, and I did plant them in June. It was just the very end of June, so we'll see how the pumpkins go. But I planted a lot of pumpkins like kind of close to each other, and somebody said that they get really big, like the leaves get really big, so I might have to thin that out or move them into a different container. But it's crazy because I didn't think that I would be able to fill up those 4 garden boxes. Like, I really was kind of nervous. Oh my god, it just started raining a lot harder. Anyway, let me talk really quickly so my camera doesn't get soaked. But I was nervous that I wouldn't be able to fill those garden boxes up with stuff. But now I'm actually to the point where like I could use a little bit more space. So I might consider getting like a big galvanized steel tub and putting some holes at the bottom for drainage, or maybe just like removing the bottom and planting more stuff, because I situated the garden so that it wasn't going to be like super full with those 4 beds, because it probably looks a little bit sparse when you look at it. But I did that on purpose because I knew that I wanted to add more planters later on. And I might actually consider building more raised bed planters because I figured out how the guy made them, because I hired somebody to do it. And he used cedar fence pieces, not the posts, not fence posts, but like the fence faces. I don't remember what those are called. But he used those for them. And like, that's so much cheaper than buying like 2x6s. So they're like, it's 1x6 pieces of wood. And I actually have a lot of 1x6 pieces of wood left, so I might just make something out of the extra wood that I have left over. But anyway, it's starting to come down a lot more, and I really want to protect my camera, so I'm gonna go inside. I'm going to be going outside soon. I went and got all of the last minute things that I needed for the garden, because as we know, I've been procrastinating, and this is the week that it gets done. So I'm going to add chicken wire to the bottom of the fence to keep out rabbits and, well, I was about to say squirrels, but squirrels, I'm not gonna be able to keep them out unless I put something over the top of the net. I mean, I put a net over the top of the garden. So chicken wire for rabbits. I got galvanized steel wire to put across the top of the fence. And then I got wood for the gate. I had them cut it to size. I knew my dimensions. So I just bought a 2x6x16 board and I had them cut it. And then I decided for myself that I've been wearing these rubber boots like for everything I've been doing out there because they're really good at keeping ticks off of me because we have a major tick problem at our house. But I just feel like my legs are always sweaty, and on like hot days, it's just really unpleasant to wear them. But like wearing my like running shoes, like my random like sneakers, just feels weird. So I said to myself, Becca, you do a lot of work outside. Let's get you some work boots. So I went over to the farm store and I picked up some work boots, and I'm really happy with the ones that I got. I did get them like probably a half a size too big. They didn't have a 7.5. Like my shoe size is a true 7.5, but they didn't have a 7.5, but I decided to size up because they had a 7 and then they had an 8. And the 7 just felt like it would be too tight. Like if my feet got swollen at all, like being hot or something, or if I was wearing thicker socks, it would also be really uncomfortable. So I got the 8s in hopes that that will be fine. They did feel a bit loose, but I could just wear thicker socks with them. But yeah, I just really needed some work boots to work in. So yep, that's that. And something that's really nice about these, the pull tab to put them on is like very big. Can you see how big that pull tab is? It's the little things, you know? So, all right, I'm gonna put these on and I'm gonna head outside and show you all the materials. Plus I got this edging. It's a scalloped no dig landscaping edging. Let me show you. I'm going to put this on the edge of my hydrangea garden because I want it to be edged off, because that used to be a grassy area. So like the actual origin story of that little garden is it was a grass area, like fully grass. And then we put a bunch of leaves there, like from the oak tree, because the oak tree just like covers everything in our house with leaves. And so we were like, well, we just started scooping them into that little pile over there. And we didn't think about how the grass would die underneath it. And we could have waited for it to grow back, because like there is another patch where we did that and it's pretty much fully grown back. But I was like, how about we just make something out of this? Because the front yard felt a little lopsided, only having plants on one side. So I decided to make lemonade out of lemons and do that. So I'm gonna put some edging on it so that the grass has a firm line that it can't cross. At least for me, that is. The grass doesn't really care about the firm line, but it'll help me when I'm like pulling up the grass to know where the edge exactly is. Okay, so let's put on our boots and let's go outside. We are out at the garden. It is overcast, but it is still very warm. And there's a breeze that's coming through every once in a while, and that breeze just really saves my life because it is so humid out here. So humid. I probably look terrible, but this is real life. This is what I look like. Anyway, okay, so I have all my supplies and tools up here. It took me at least 10 minutes to bring everything up here. I don't know what I want to start with. Do I want to start with the top wire or the chicken stuff? The chicken wire for the bottom. I can't decide, but I need to also figure out how to get a 16-foot cattle panel to my house, because I certainly am not going to be able to take that like whole, because okay, my fence is made out of cattle panels obviously, but to transport them we had to cut them all in half to be 8-foot pieces, which really sucked. I didn't like doing that. It made the process of putting together the fence like a little bit annoying, because then I had to connect all of those pieces later. It's fine, it's done, and that was like a much easier way to do it than the other way that I was planning on doing the fence. But the situation is now I'm going to be using cattle panels for my arches, my trellis arches, and probably order it online. I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna happen, but I brought water out with me. I don't usually bring water out here. I don't know why. Now I will stay adequately hydrated, which is very important. But I think I actually want to make the fence or the gate first, because I'm looking at the wood and it just like seems much more fun than everything else. So I didn't show you guys how I made the fence before, but I'm gonna show you this time. And I'm doing it a different way. A way that I actually feel confident telling you. Because the other way I did it, I basically just lined the wood up like this on all four corners. And then I got my screw and I tried to screw it in like this. So that it would look like that through the wood. Does that make sense? It was horrible, and the gate is not very sturdy. So I will probably end up redoing this one. At least, not like redoing it and like with new wood, but just redoing the screws, because it's just not, it's not good. And I don't really know how it's staying together. But this time, I bought bigger L brackets. I used smaller L brackets for some stuff inside my house. I showed you guys on Wednesday, but I got bigger ones because obviously like the wood is like bigger and heavier. So I'm going to be putting this on all four corners of the gate, and that will hold it together like way better. I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place, and it would be like way easier. And then I got my gate hardware, which is a handle and then a set like this. So it has two hinges, the lock mechanism, and then all the screws that you need for it. So yes. Oh, also I bought a staple gun. I've never had one of these, but you know, I decided we're gonna have one. So there's that, and then I have the staples to go with it. I'm going to see if perhaps I can do more stapling rather than like hammering, because I'm really bad at hammering, we know this. But if I need a hammer, I will. But I'm thinking of using this mostly on like the chicken wire on the posts, and then possibly with the cattle panels on the fence. First thing I have to do is lay out the wood in the fashion that I want it to be in. So I'm just gonna do it right in the middle here since I have a big open space. This side needed to be bigger. I think my head is cut off, but this side needed to be bigger because I wanted this to be more of a utility entrance. So it's actually 5'5" wide. That's my height actually. This feels nice. Okay, back to work. And so now that it's all set up there, I'm going to put the corner brackets on, and I'm just going to screw it all together, which is, it sounds too simple, but that's what it is. I'm not going to ask questions. That's just what it is, all right?
And comfort on the phone. It's cool. This is definitely a hard one. Yeah. Oh, my friend.
So it seems as though I have very slightly miscalculated. So here's the fence up. Well, there's no piece in the middle yet, but basically what's going on is I'm like, I don't know, an inch off, which stinks because obviously these two posts are different heights because there's a slope. And so I made a mistake at some point and I'm an inch off. That's really all there is to it. So I really don't want to, but I obviously have to put this up. I'm gonna have to trim it an inch, which sucks. I'll probably do 2 inches so it's 1 inch on each side so that there's room for the boards to move, like as I open and close it. But man, that just sucks. I'm really annoyed. But I do like how tall it is. I really like how tall it is. It makes me want to make this other one over here taller, but I don't know. That's for another problem. That's a problem for another time. So I guess I'm going to go take this down to the garage and trim it 2 inches and then come back and see how it fits. I'm glad that I did this before I put on the fence part of it, like the enclosing part of it, because I was about to just be like, whatever, if it fits, it fits, if it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't know why I act like that, because I would be absolutely heartbroken if this happened to me after I put this fencing on it. So, okay, back to the drawing board. Mistake managed. So now it's the right dimensions. When I actually screw it in, it will be, because it's kind of leaning like this, it'll be more like this when I put the hinges on. So that is the next step, and then Well, actually first I should put the fencing on it first, huh? Okay. Ah. I forgot how long this takes. Like I was like, oh yeah, I'll just do the gate real quick. Like it'll be fine. The gate, actually it takes a little bit of time. So yeah, here we go. Oh, I purchased a staple gun. Well, is this a staple gun? I don't remember. So I am gonna be using this on the fence here, and I just put in one, and that like was pretty strong. So I'm just gonna put a lot, because this keeps me from having to nail things, which I'm like really bad at nailing things. So hopefully this will save me some time. The top is put on. I put chicken wire at the bottom because, well, I obviously ran out of cattle panels, so I just put that at the bottom because that's what I'm gonna do around the bottom anyway. So yeah, there we go. It's all finished. I went a little crazy with the staples, but whatever, it was fun. I had some fun with the staples. So now I just need to put on the hinges and all the hardware so that it can swing. And I'm just gonna show you that when I'm done, because I showed myself doing that in another clip in a previous video. So you know how it goes. It's just hardware. The second fence is finished, and I keep saying fence. This is a gate, Becca. It's a gate. Okay, so listen, I ran into some issues here. The gap is a bit larger than it should be. It probably needs like a 1/2 inch and it would have been fine. Like just a little bit, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it. This is life, you know? So, yeah. All right, so I haven't tested out like swinging it open yet, but we're gonna do that right now. So let's just give her the old test drive. Oops. Hold on, my chicken wire's in the way. That was super anticlimactic. All right, test drive. Second time. Ooh. Oh, and look, it swings back. Look at that. Will it latch? It will not latch. It's just slightly not close enough to latch on its own. I might have to come up and like do this. Which is so annoying, because if it was just like, I don't know why it's actually not sitting up. Maybe because this is like loose, but anyway. That's the situation. That's what we're working with. That's how the cookie crumbled for me this time. So I'll take it. I am so sweaty. It is so hot. I think the sun is really coming through the clouds now, but okay. I don't know what I want to do now. I'm gonna do the wire, because that's basically just going to require me to use the staple gun and the galvanized stuff that I bought. Let me show you what it looks like, just in case you're interested. It looks like this, and I wasn't expecting myself to buy this. I thought I would buy something more like a wire on a roll, but I bought 200 feet of this, which is way too much, but I figured I could use it elsewhere, because I'm gonna need more than 150 feet. There was a 100-foot option, there was a 50-foot option, but I think I need 160 feet. But we'll actually see, because with the dimensions, it should be, I don't know. But because I'm doing 2 rows of this, it's double whatever I thought I would need. This keeps pinching my arm here. I'm gonna put it down now. Okay, so let's at least start that, and then I can maybe finish it tomorrow. But I don't want to be out here on a Friday night doing this, you know? It's just like not fun. Today's Thursday. I was hoping to like have a chill day tomorrow, but we'll see. I'm very sweaty. I've been sweaty on this channel before. It's fine. No need to get insecure, Becca. But anyway, that's the situation. That's what I've got going on. I'm really glad that that fence is done. Or I did it again, that gate is done. It looks really nice. Like, I think that one looks way better than this front one, but we're just gonna roll with it because it's squared off really nicely. The L brackets were perfect. I think that my settings are all off on my camera. This looks a little more true to color. Let's do this thing.